Okay, well, thank you so much. I'm really feel honored and blessed to be able to be here. Have had the opportunity to be able to speak a couple of times to the community online, and was excited to be able to come and share with all of you in person. So today, as I was kind of tuning into what we could talk about, I think one of the most exciting things for most of us is when we get messages from our loved ones in spirit. Would you guys agree with that? That's always what makes it just, helps us to create the connection. And part of my, I think, purpose in the work that I have done over the years is helping people to recognize that we have the ability to have that connection with spirit. We have that ability to have that connection with spirit. So a lot of times people will feel like, they have to go to a medium, and mediums are absolutely great. We facilitate that connection between the spirit world and the physical world. It's what, I've done for the last 25 years professionally. But what I really like to teach people is that you are your own medium. You are the best medium you can be to the loved ones in the spirit world. You have the ability to connect with them, and it's learning how to be able to pull your attention in, to get super focused, and presence. So I wanted to talk about that word presence. So if you think about presence, do you feel like you are very present in your life? How many of you feel like not so much present? Like, we get distracted, right? There's lots of distractions. That little ding that we just heard, that's one of the distractions, right? And it's constant. Our phones are going off, our computers are going off, people are trying to message us, all different types of things. And as I started learning how to communicate with the spirit world, my story, the background, just to give you a little taste, is at the age of 13, I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw my guardian angel. And at that time, I didn't actually even believe that I had angels. So I was like, I don't know what this is, but there's some being above me that brought in this energy of really just absolute unconditional love. And that started me on the journey of saying, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to get them to come back, but whatever I need to do to get them to come back, that's what I want to do. And I think a lot of us feel that way, whether it's our angels, our ascended masters, and our loved ones in spirit. We don't want them to come back, but we want to get to be connected with them. We want to feel their presence. We want to know their essence. We want to see the signs. We want to feel the messages from our loved ones. Would you guys agree with that? Mm-hmm. And so part of my work has been not only to help facilitate that in the professional format of people coming to see me, but more so to teach everyone how to be able to access that energy themselves, how to be able to tap in, to tune in, to connect, to feel, to recognize the signs and how our loved ones communicate with us. And for some of you, this is probably old news. Like, you're like, yeah, Sunny, we know this. But I never know as we're opening up to a new audience where all of you are in your understanding and your recognition of the tools and the ways that Spirit communicates with us, and where you are on your journey in this experience, what's brought us all here together, right? So I want to start with the word presence. So what calls you into presence? Just, you can, in the chat, you guys can share what calls you into presence. Those of you that are here in person, like, what calls you into presence? Just yell it out for me. Meditation. Breath is very good. We always want breath, right? What else? Nature. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? How about this side of the room? Music, for sure, music. Okay, so these are some ways that call us into presence. Now, one of the things that I've learned in my journey, and maybe this is true for all of you, is that presence is something I have to really work at. It doesn't really actually come very natural to me, meaning I've got a lot of things going on, my head is busy. Any of you have busy heads? Like, it's always, boom, 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 boom. There's constantly something happening. And so I have to work really intently to be present. And what Spirit has said to me is that when we're wanting especially to connect with our loved ones, which is why we're here today, that this was a statement that they gave to me when I was writing my book, The Love Never Ends. They said, you cannot focus on their absence and experience their presence. In order to experience their presence, you must focus on their presence. And you must be present, right? Because Spirit speaks in present moment, right now. Spirit doesn't speak in the past. Past is over. Spirit doesn't speak in the future. Future doesn't exist. Presence, right here, right now. This is where the power is. This is where the connection is. And so often what happens, and there's no judgment, this isn't right or wrong, because we're all at different levels of the stages of life, of different seasons. We're going through different levels of grief at different times. But what we find is that oftentimes when you have loved ones in the spirit world, you focus on their absence. And the more we focus on it, the more we experience it. So presence becomes, I believe, critical to seeing the signs, to receiving the messages. So if we, for example, if we just pretended for a minute that, okay, we've got, let's just split the room, and those of you that are online, just imagine that you're on the side of presence, like you're the present people. We're going to pretend that this group over here, you guys are super present. And we're going to pretend you guys over here, you're not present, okay? So, and we're also going to pretend that these windows open, okay? So we're going to imagine that the window's open, and my present people over here, and a butterfly just flies in. Okay? The butterfly flies in, and you unpresent people, you guys are on your phones, you're talking to each other, you're thinking about the list, you got to go to the grocery store on your way back. But you present people, you all see the butterfly, and you guys don't see the butterfly. How might that affect your day if you saw the butterfly? Would it represent something to you likely? Okay, it would mean something to you. It would be a sign of some sort, right? But those that are not present, the same experience happened, but those that are not present, focus down here, talking to somebody else, they just missed the sign. Now I want you to think about how often that happens in our day-to-day lives. Because the signs are constant. And for those of you that, especially those of you that have been, had a long time to connect with your loved ones in spirit, you know that because you have evidence of it generally. It's sign after sign after sign, right? They're always connecting with us and communicating with us if we're paying attention. But oftentimes we're not paying attention. And it's not, again, right or wrong. It is just a reality that we want to start to be more aware of, right? So what I want to do, and we have a small group, and I know a lot of you know each other, but I do want to do this little exercise. What I'd like for you to do, and those of you that are online, you may want to just close your eyes and see if you can feel into the energy as we tap into the energy in this group, okay? So what I'd like to do is I just want you to close your eyes for a minute, and I just want you to notice the energy of the space that we're in. Just notice what you feel without any judgment. Just, I feel a little nervous, I feel a little excited, I feel really open, I feel a little bit closed off. Just notice what you notice. And take a deep breath. And then I'd like everybody to stand up. And for those of you that are here in the room, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like you to just go and introduce yourself to two people that you don't know. Okay? Just go introduce yourself to two people you don't know. I know, but I heard you. And once you've introduced yourself to the two people you don't know, then I just want you to stand wherever you are. Just stop wherever you are. And I want you to close your eyes. And I just want you to tell me what you feel in the energy of this space now. It might feel a little bit different than it did before. What do you feel? We got the goosebumps everywhere. What else do you feel?
Heart-centered, open.
Heart-centered, open. Went from here to here.
Like a vibration.
A vibration. Okay, beautiful. Do you all notice a little bit something different? A little bit of difference in the energy of the room?
Yeah.
Okay. Frequency shift. Okay. Now, one more time. Now I want you to go and introduce yourself to two people that you know the least amount. But I want you this time to do it as if they are your long-lost best friend you haven't seen for 25 years. You're super excited.
Thank goodness.
Super, super excited.
So glad to see you again. So good to see you. I'm so glad that you
Super excited to see this friend. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, friends, so now just stop wherever you're standing. Those of you that are online, I just want you to see if you can use your intuition to feel this energy as well, because there's frequency and vibration and it travels. So those of you that are in this room now tell me, what do you feel now?
Joy.
Joy. Peace. Love.
Connection.
Love. Connection.
Upness.
Upness. I like that word.
Brighter.
Brighter. Okay. So what I'm giving you an example of is, would you say the vibration feels higher?
Yes. Much higher.
Okay, much higher. All right. This is what we want to start creating to connect even greater with our loved ones in spirit. Is we want to raise our vibration, right? And all of you right now in this space, you can feel the difference in that, right? Just took a couple of minutes and you can feel it. So what I want you to think about now is the ways we're going to raise our vibration. We're going to talk about that, but I want you to get a couple of hugs if you're open, and then we're going to have a seat. Okay?
More
Those of you online, hug yourselves.
Do you want one?
Oh, sure. Of course I do. Are you kidding? Always. Yes. Always. I love hugs.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's right.
My granddaughter, my daughter.
I'll take a hug. Thank you. Okay. All right. So those of us that are here in person, friends for you that are online, everybody got some hugs. You guys make sure you gave yourselves a hug. And so I want to talk about vibration, because we talk a lot about the signs, we talk a lot about the messages, we talk a lot about the dreams, all the ways that our loved ones come through, right? They come through seeing, which is dreams. It could be vision. You could see the energy of your loved one. You could actually see them in form, taking on form. The memories that come up, right? These are all going to be through the clairvoyance. And then you've got your audience, your clairaudience, which is the hearing. You might hear their voice, right? You might hear a message that comes directly from them, but it's inside of your head, not outside of your head. It's not audible, but it's absolutely, you know, they're speaking to you, right? It might come through knowing. So you just know, and you don't know why you know, you just know, and you trust it deeply, right? And then it might come through feeling, whether physical feeling, like you feel their presence, or feeling like there's a message or something that's going to happen or has happened. Some of you may have even had that experience when you had the loss of your loved one in whatever form that they transitioned. You might have had a feeling, right? Or a knowing or a seeing or a message. So we recognize that the external way that we want to feel connected is through all these different signs and symbols and messages and visions. But the piece that's important to have more of that is to get to a place where you can, number one, be present. Presence is the key to all of it. We just miss so many messages when we're not present. But number two is raise your vibration. Now, let's talk about how you raise your vibration. What do you do? And those of you online, you can put this in the chat. What do you do to raise your vibration? Like, and do you do anything that's consistent to raise your vibration? So go ahead, just yell it out.
Meditate.
Meditate, sing. Sound baths.
Having fun.
Having fun, yes.
Being out in the nature as well.
Being out in nature, yeah. Hiking. Anybody else?
Well, yoga.
Yoga.
Spending time with my granddaughter.
I love that. That's the best.
Mine says, play with my dog, walk in nature.
Yes. Play with dogs. Animals are unconditional, right? They're super easy to make that connection with, right? And that raises our vibration. So all of those things you said, and a lot more, right? It could be prayer, it could be artwork, it could be listening to music, it could be dancing. Some crazy people say running. I don't know who they are, but some people think running raises your vibration. I think it does not. I don't know. But whatever that is for you, that is important, right? Whatever that thing, it might be gardening, it might be sitting in your own room staring at a candle flame. Doesn't matter what it is. But if you want to have more experience and more connection with your loved ones, then when you raise your vibration, then it's easier to connect with those higher frequencies because their frequencies are higher. Now, why is that? So we're going to start at the very base. So as physical beings, we are a spirit and a body, right? And so that spirit is light energy, but the body itself is dense, right? So we've got this light energy in this dense container, let's say. And so our vibration as physical beings, our vibration is on this low end, simply because we've got a body. And you probably all know people that have a real high energy. Do you know people like that? I'm like, got a super high energy, if you can't tell. I'm always like a little go, 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 right? A little extra coffee, except for I don't drink coffee, but that's kind of my energy, right? High energy. And then you have people, and you know people that have low energy. Now, we're not saying either one of those are good or bad. It's just the way that the energy kind of frequency of different beings are, right? But we also have people that are in a lower emotional state. Maybe that's hate, maybe that's judgment, maybe that's shame, kind of lower energies. And then we have higher energies. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. We drop the body, we transition, and automatically we have the lower and the higher frequency here in the human realm. It automatically raises simply because we drop the body. So the frequency of vibration automatically raises just because we drop the body. So as human beings, our vibration is here, and our loved ones in spirit now are at a higher frequency than we are. Now, we also have spirit guides. Some of you are familiar with spirit guides. Spirit guides had a physical body just like us. They dropped their body, they left the physical form, and they transitioned into this next level. We call this the afterlife, spirit world. And then they chose to be a teacher, a guide for others, sometimes for family members, not always. Lots of people like to think that our loved ones are always. That's not necessarily the case. But they will be the teacher or the guide for those that are in the human realm, okay? Then the next level up, this is when we get into the angels and the archangels, the ascended masters. So we're here, down here. And all these energies that you want to connect with are all here, right? And then we've got the God of your understanding, divine source energy, creator, whatever you call that. So here we are, and what we want to do to be able to have more experience, more ease, more connection is simply raise your vibration. Now, I say simply, and it's not simple, right? Because there's lots of things that we're like, oh, that's easy, and then you get into it, it is not easy. But this is the work to raise your vibration. And the reason that we want to focus on things that raise the vibration is because the highest expression of love that there is. Do you know what it is? Keep going. It's joy.
Joy.
Joy is the highest expression of love there is. And I'm sure that you've heard this before, and I don't think it's always easy when you have loved ones in spirit and people say they want you to be happy, they want you to be joyful, they want you to be live your lives, they want you to go have fun, and you're like, no, I cannot do that.
Not quite that simple.
Because it's not simple. That doesn't mean it's not true, right? Joy is the highest expression of love there is. So the more joy you bring into your life, the more joyful experiences you have, the more joy you allow into your heart space, the more your vibration raises. And the more your vibration raises, the easier it is for them to connect with you. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, so then if all of us are high vibrational beings and we're all present, then guess what happens when that butterfly flies through the window that there's no way to get in, right? Because that actually happens all the time. When you get messages from spirit, it's like, this doesn't make any sense at all, and it's totally perfect, right? So the butterfly flies in, and you all experience it, and you all see it, and you all have a story around what that represents for you, because it's different for you than it is for you than it is for you, right? But then we all have that experience. So this is one of the reasons, and I like to share this because it's one of the reasons and one of the ways that we can understand why some people are having a lot of experiences and then others are not, right? And they're like, why do you keep having this? I actually just talked to a client of mine this morning whose mom just passed 2 weeks ago. And she's like, I see her like 10 times a day, like everywhere all the time. They had a very open relationship that, and she's Native American. So she has a lot of foundational beliefs around the connection with spirit in the afterlife. So the channel is much more open, because when she passed, she was like, I'm ready, like I'm open, I'm seeing this. And she didn't hold her joy back. She actually allowed it to get expressed. But I think for a lot of us, that doesn't feel right initially, right? Especially when we have loved ones, our children, family members in the spirit world, it feels like we're maybe not honoring them in kind of some heady way, but on a soul level, it's what they're asking for, right? They're asking for us to be in our joy. So I wanted to give you this invitation to bring more joy, more love, because that's what it is, right? The highest expression of love, more joy into your life. And what I believe happens, what I've seen happen over, decades of doing this work, is that as we allow more of that to come in, number one, it starts to ripple through us. The healing process happens, right? But the other thing is then it starts to ripple out. And all of you become teachers to the people around you. You teach people love, you teach people joy, you teach people how to live in the way that serves you and other people. Then, goodness, if Elizabeth hadn't had the experience she had, we wouldn't all be here. Right? That brought this thing. Dun, 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 dun! Kind of like the window not opening with the butterfly showing up. That's our exclamation point.
Wow.
I love it when that happens. It wasn't planned, but it was. Right? But that's what we think about, right? So what we do with that energy as we allow it to move through us, and that love to move through us, and then when that container is full, then we share it out in the world, and we create organizations and groups and communities like this, where it's safe to come together and it's safe to talk. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Goodness, Sunny.
Okay, so vibrations raising, we're getting into presence. I'm curious, how many of you feel or see or hear or know a message from your loved ones a few times a week? Okay. And how many of you get frustrated because you don't see it as often as you want? Even if you qualified for a few times a week, you might be like, I want it 50 times a week, right? All the time, right? So what I want to invite you into is the opportunity to start to focus specifically on your own energy, right? On your vibration. And we can't fake it, right? It doesn't work that way. Putting a smile on your face does not change your vibration. But what I want you to think about is you guys just felt that energy in the room, right? You felt the shift in energy just in 4 minutes. You felt the shift in energy when we were no longer separate and individual, but when we actually came into each other's space, right? When we actually talked, when we actually looked eye to eye to each person, maybe gave a hug, maybe held a hand. That was the energy, and that's the energy of connection, and that's the energy that those of us that are mediums, that's what we're connecting to. That's how we actually tune into your loved ones, is just by the heart energy and the connection that you have with them, right? So the more that we create that in our day-to-day lives, the more communication, the more signs, the more messages, to where it just gets to where you're like, oh my goodness, it's like they're sitting right here with us, because we know that they are, right? So I'm curious if anybody has any comments, questions about anything that we talked about so far, here or online,
Lisa's looking on.
or any other question. Because otherwise, I'm going to do a little exercise. I'm going to do a little guided visual meditation / experience. Okay. So if we don't have any questions, then we'll go ahead and start that. So for this, I'm going to have Brandy is going to hand out some crystals. I'm going to have you all pick a crystal. Those of you that are online, if you could for a moment, if you have a crystal somewhere in your space, if you could go grab one. If not, just take some kind of piece of something that feels symbolic to you. Okay, so I want you to use, you can use whatever you want, but just something symbolic that you can kind of hold on to. Okay? So you're all going to grab a crystal. And I'm going to do a guided meditation to actually connect with, for all of you, is it a child in the spirit world?
Yes.
Just want to make sure. Okay. So that's the way I wrote it, and then I thought I better ask first. Okay. So just for a moment, while everybody gets it here in person, and then those of you that are online, again, something that's symbolic. It could be a piece of jewelry. It could be a rock from out in your garden. It could be a piece of Palo Santo wood or sage. It could be anything you want. I just couldn't figure out a way to get the crystals into your guys' hands too. So
it's also a mom in spirit. So
okay.
So just to let you know.
Okay.
That's also the case.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, darling, if I say child, I'll do it kind of probably just say your loved one in spirit, just to kind of cover all of it. If I miss just because I wrote it as child, then just know that you use it for your mom. Okay. All right. Is everybody ready? Okay. So if you just take a couple minutes, we're just going to take a couple minutes to just kind of pull our energy in. Get ourselves present, take a couple of nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And putting your feet just flat on the floor, if you will. Another nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And just taking a moment right now to recognize the sacredness of this space and this coming together. And I really want to begin by just honoring your presence here today, whether you're here online or you're here in person. I know that walking through grief is not a straight line. There's ups and there's downs, and there's ebbs and there's flows. And if you are here, then you are ready for connection and open to healing. And that's a beautiful gift to all of us. So today we're going to just create a sacred space first, a space to feel the love that never ends. Through our loved ones in spirit, we're going to feel that connection. Although they are no longer in physical form, their spirit remains vibrant and intimately connected to you. So today, opening our hearts to possibly receive a message from them. You've all been given a crystal or some form of physical connection. For those of you that are holding crystals, this is more than just a beautiful stone. This is going to be a bridge. It's a loving and energetic tool that we're going to use to connect between dimensions, between this physical world and the spirit world. So we're letting this stone be a symbol of love. So as you're holding this stone in your hand, maybe you're holding it close to your heart, whatever feels most connecting and most nurturing for you. Allowing yourself to open up to begin the journey. Taking in another deep breath, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Feeling your shoulders drop, your jaw loosening, your hands just releasing, letting go of the tightness and the tension, and opening to your loving heart. Take a moment and bring your awareness to the center of your chest, and let your breath travel there, right into that heart center. Each inhale gently opens your heart just a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit more. Each exhale allows you to release whatever doesn't serve you any longer, whatever stress, worry, or pain you've been holding on to. Just breathe. Now I'd like you to bring your full attention to the crystal or the item that you're holding in your hand. Feel its shape. Feel its texture. This is your companion for this journey. A loving ally. A bridge of energy. Imagine soft golden light beginning to swirl around this crystal. Just let that light grow stronger and stronger with each and every breath. And as you hold it, speak your loved one's name silently. Feel your love pour into the crystal like a prayer or an intention. Let it fill with the warmth of your connection. And then whisper an intention from your heart. Maybe it's, I open my heart to connect. I am ready to feel. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to listen. Whatever intention feels in alignment for you, know that now this crystal is activated with your energy, your light, and your love. Let it guide you gently to what your soul is ready to hear, to feel, to experience. In your mind's eye, imagine yourself walking along a quiet path in the most beautiful area of nature that you absolutely love. It's a place that feels safe and familiar. The sun is shining. The colors around you glow with the beautiful light. And there's a sense of peace in the air. As you walk, you feel the earth beneath your feet. You hear the sounds of nature, the birds, the trees, a gentle breeze. And you continue to walk slowly, intentionally. Just ahead of you, you notice a special place. Maybe it's a clearing. Maybe it's a bench, a garden, a hilltop. place where heaven touches earth. You walk toward it, and you have a seat. You feel calm. You feel open. You feel present. And you're ready. And in the distance, a soft light appears. And as you tune into that light and feel its glow, it's a familiar essence. You know this light. You know this soul. This is your loved one in full presence. As they come closer, not necessarily as they were, but as they are now, you recognize them. Beautiful, radiant, whole, eternal, full of peace. There are no need for words. Simply feel their presence. Feel the love. Feel the connection. Just let yourself rest in that presence for a moment. Taking in a nice deep breath, feeling that presence ripple through your body. As your loved one is in front of you in this moment, they have something to share with you. A message, maybe a whisper, maybe a memory, or a knowing. Taking a deep breath and just allowing it to come in whatever form it does. Maybe a word, a phrase, a song, a feeling, a memory. Maybe you'll just feel that wave of love. At this moment, there's nothing to force. There's no need to try hard. Just breathe in and allow. And listen to your heart. See what your loved one has for you in this moment. Feeling that love and that presence. And as you listen, take a moment now to bring that crystal to your heart. I want you to allow their message now to settle into you. Let it be held. Let it be felt. Let it be remembered. to remind you that you can return to this space and pull forward this connection, this memory, this sense at any time. Whenever you need that connection of love, it is here for you, embodied. So now it's time to come back into our space. This isn't a goodbye. It's a see you in a little while. And I'd like you to invite your loved one to come in a space that feels safe to you. Maybe that's in your dreams. Maybe that's through your journaling. Maybe that's in that quiet moment in the morning, in your prayer. Just a moment, sharing with them. I'll keep listening. And thank your loved one for showing up. Thank your heart for being brave. Thank your soul for remembering. Now you begin to walk back along the path. You feel different. You're holding on to something sacred, just yours. As you return back to this moment, begin to bring awareness back into the room. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Wiggling your fingers, toes. When you feel ready, open your eyes and come back to the room. There's some tissues here. Somebody's asking for tissues. All right, friends, just taking a couple of nice deep breaths in. Would anybody like to share how they're feeling? Feel connection or your experience, whether that's in person or online. I know oftentimes these are personal, and that's okay. Yes.
I'll share.
Okay.
I was very, very close to my child, super close. She's still here all the time. So I felt like she was saying, I got you.
I gotcha. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
But it's new, so
Yeah.
that's just a year. I'm still working on.
That's
even
all
though
right.
She shows up all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, people. And sometimes you can be really feisty.
Yep, I hear that.
But
She's gotcha. It's beautiful. They do have us. They do have us. Anybody else want to share, or is there one online? Anybody that wants to share?
Anyone yet?
Okay. Yes, darling.
So my kiddo just said what he normally says to me, but I met him on a path that I've walked many times in North Carolina. He loved one of his favorite places to be, and he just said, "Hi, Mama." He gave me a hug, and all he said was, "I'm right here."
You know, sometimes that's the most important message. I think a lot of times we feel like we we're looking for something. I find this, at least for myself personally, and then for a lot of my clients, like they're looking like for something profound, and what's profound is the love. The love is what's profound, and so it's in those just, hey mama, like the way that they would communicate with you. That's what is profound, is that love. The love is the piece that's profound. Yes, there's amazing messages that they can bring us. There's amazing reminders that, and signs that we can see, and that's awesome too. But it's the consistent knowing of their presence and remembering that we've got to focus on their presence, right? Not focusing on their absence. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Okay.
Okay, my brother actually came in,
Mm-hmm.
and he was an alcoholic for most of his adult life, and he died from his alcoholism. And he just showed me how far removed he was from the story of him here.
Yes.
That, he's all perfection now.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that such a beautiful experience to witness? Takes so much of that pain of the judgment that they carried and that those of us around them carry.
Yeah, the first thing he said, he came and sat down beside me and he said, "That was a real shit show, wasn't it?"
You're like, yep, I know it's you.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's beautiful. My grandmother on my mom's side was an alcoholic, and she started drinking when she was 18, and she drank Coors beer at least a 6-pack every day of her life, if not more. And when she was about 68, she developed Alzheimer's, which made sense because she wanted to forget her life. When she died, she actually was in a care facility for Alzheimer's. My mom's sisters all took care of her for several, about 2 years, but she was a runner, so they couldn't contain her. She was always trying to get out. And so the day that she passed, she actually walked out of her care facility and died of hypothermia. And what was so amazing was within a half a day, she came to me and gave me, I was in the trauma of the discovering of her death in such a difficult form, but her spirit was so light and it was so free, and she came to me with Coors beer, the smell of Coors beer, and I'm like, Grandma, I don't like beer, first of all, so this is not helpful for me, right? And she's like, you're not gonna mix me up with anybody else. I'm like, no, I'm sure not. And she came to me and she said, I could have left with everyone surrounding me and standing next to me, but I've never had a voice in my life. And this way I have something to say, and then I want you to carry on my voice. And I did. So we created the Safe Return program, we changed laws, we got the place closed down that wasn't taking care of her well, right? We did a lot of things, but I think so often when they had those difficult journeys on the human level, that that's the thing that they want us to know, is that they're clear, they're pure, they're just that love energy that's coming through, regardless of the way that they left. And the life that they live, quite honestly. So that's really beautiful. Yes, got a question?
We have Pamela online. Oh,
Ooh,
Okay.
Echo.
Pamela online, she says, my son Ty is my encouragement. Today was again that she's supposed to love and that he's got me. I'm on the right path, and to stay patient with our family who don't feel Ty like she does.
Yeah. That's hard, isn't it? When you have some people that are like, well, I don't feel them, or I don't get how you can feel them, or maybe you're just trying to make yourself feel better. I've heard that one a lot. And And it's hard to understand other people's journeys because it's very individual. And it seems that that's a big message. I got you is the message of the day, right? And I think too, just to, I know I've got to wrap pretty quick, is the reminder that for each person, they come in different ways and different vibrations. And the challenge is that so often when our energy is in a low frequency, it's hard for us to connect with them. It's hard for us to see them. It's hard for us to feel them, not because we should feel guilty or ashamed that our energy is low. It's just simply that it's difficult to break through that frequency for them. And so that's why, it's hard to speak. I did a lot of speaking at Parents of Murdered Children's conferences for years and years. And it's very difficult to be in rooms like this and say, we have to raise our vibration when it's understandable why it's so hard, right? Like, okay, well, how do I do both? And this is the work. This is what we're here to learn, is how to live that life and connect with them in that higher frequency that then gives us purpose and reason in a new form, right? So what I would like to leave you all with, and I'm open for questions, but what I'd like to leave you all with is presence. Okay, that's the most important. You don't get the messages without the presence. The vibration, doing what you can to raise your vibration. It doesn't have to mean that you're perfect. It means go for that walk, do that yoga, get out in nature, listen to the little kids laughing, do the thing that raises your vibration. It's going to help you to plug in more with them and opening up to and looking for the excitement. To me, that's the most fun. I have a lot of people in the spirit world around me. Those of us that are mediums, we have a lot. We have like an entourage. They come in with us, right? And a lot of them are family and friends too, but then we have clients and students and all these people. And my favorite thing, this is almost every single day, almost every single time that I go for a walk outside, without exception, I find money. Almost always. Like, I would say probably I walk almost every day, except for, June, July, and August. So how many days is that? Maybe 280? I probably find money on 250 days. And nobody even uses money anymore. We were just talking about that. Nobody even uses change. I find it every day. And I'm like, okay, now what I get to do for fun is figure out who's leaving it for me, right? Because it's never the same soul. So, for me. So, thank you guys so much. I want to open it up for some questions. So, anybody have any questions here in person, or those of you that are online, questions for me?
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you were 13 and got your angel, your guide,
Yes.
was there an event that you remember that caused that?
Well,
triggered that?
interestingly, no, that was part of the problem. I'm like, I want to just recreate it. What did I do, right? So, but there was one piece that made it different than any other time, and that was, we're just having exclamation points over here.
Let me touch that.
Listen, I know you didn't. She didn't touch it. We're just having some excitement around here, our entourages.
Right here.
I love it. The difference was that, so I was a pretty depressed teenager. I was raised in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I was not religious, and all of the people around me in all areas, family, friends, everybody was. And so I was really depressed because I didn't fit in anywhere. And so I went to bed that night, but my mom was worried about me. Like she was really worried about my mental health. And so, so she came in, and so what happened was I saw my guardian angel, and I felt so calm and so relaxed that I literally just rolled over and went back to sleep. Like I felt this unconditional love. I'm like, there you are. Like it just felt so great. And then I rolled over, I went back to sleep, even though this being is floating above me, right? And then the next morning, my head kicked in, and I ran downstairs, and I'm like, oh my God, Mom, this is what happened. And she's like, well, Sunny, that's your guardian angel. And I said, I don't think I have one of those. And she's like, well, of course you do. Everybody has a guardian angel. I said, no, I don't. She's like, why wouldn't you have a guardian angel if everybody else does? I said, well, because then I wouldn't have all these bad things happen. And so I either don't have a guardian angel or I have a sucky one. One of the two, right? And so she's like, well, listen, last night I came into your room at 11 o'clock. So I looked at the clock when that happened, it was 1, straight up 1 o'clock. So she said, I came into your room at 11 and I prayed over you. And I asked God and the angels to keep you safe. So when she said that, what I realized, even though I didn't necessarily believe the story she was telling me at the time, that it was a guardian angel, was that I had awakened to the manifestation of her prayer. And I was an odd kid, especially in Utah, so manifestation, those kinds of things were right up my alley. And so I was like, okay, wait. So what that did is it sent me on a journey of curiosity, right? And right after that, I'm like, okay, well, I want to feel that love again. However I get there, what do I need to do? And so my brain, which I was kind of like, I love to learn. So I was like one of those kids that read the dictionary. I was a weird child. I went to the library and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go find a book on how to talk to your angels. So Salt Lake City, Utah, 1980, okay? I walk in, I'm like, to the librarian, okay, so I am looking for a book on how to talk to your angels. And she looks at me and she goes, the occult section. And I didn't even know what the occult section was. So I go to the occult section, and in the occult section at the library was runes, numerology, and astrology. So I checked them all out, thinking that one of those books was going to say something about talking to angels. Well, it didn't. So then I realized, okay, I'm not going to find a book this way. So I just started talking to them, and they started answering. And I actually literally was like in class. I just journaled and journaled and journaled everything that they said. So that's how the door opened. But it was curiosity all the way. And as soon as I started doing that, that's when I started seeing deceased energies around my friends and things. And then I opened my mouth and started talking about it. And that became a very big problem. Because people then thought I was crazy, but it was the doorway, right, to that next experience. Yeah, you bet.
I had an encounter with 2 angels.
Mm-hmm.
One, I was just curious, and this was before my daughter passed away, but I decided I loved ghost stories, so I decided, I'll get a ghost app.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking through the ghost app, and this enormous orb walks in to my camera. It's not on the other side, and I'm like, that's weird. It's just right there. And as I'm moving the camera, it's moving with me. And it's really beautiful. It's giving me this really calming energy. And then I'm on the bed, so I go to the right and it disappears. And I'm like, oh. And then it comes back. It's like playing peekaboo, and I can almost feel it saying peekaboo, peekaboo, and I'm like, what is this? Anyway, and I recorded it, which was, I had to tell somebody. But then, not years, months later, my son got me into mushrooms because of my life, but anyway, it's a long story. So anyway, so the third time I did it, I'm in this place, I'm on the floor, and the angels are talking to me, and I feel the love, I'm trying to make it as quick as possible. And then I get to my son's bed, and I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, he has this Jedi on the screen, and the Jedi goes, and I'm looking through a mirror, that's what it was. I'm looking through a mirror, and I almost feel like I could crawl into the mirror. I could go through the mirror, and I hear, you can't do that, you're in the Matrix. I'm like, wait, what? Who's talking to me? And he says, I'm Archangel Michael. And I'm like, what? And it's a man's voice, and it's right behind me. He goes, turn around. So I turn, and I see the Jedi's talking to me. And it keeps, and he goes, from now on, you will never do this. And he tells me everything that's going to happen in the future. And I'm like, what? You gotta be kidding me. These mushrooms are way too much for me. And so I lay down, like, I'm just going to go to sleep. I don't know. Are you really talking to me? And he goes, yes, I am. And I will always be with you. I've been with you from day one. And I'm like, what? Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go sleep. So I close my eyes, and then I hear it's the Matrix. I'm like, the Matrix? And it's the television had changed. Nobody was turning anything. And it was this person was going through a mirror, and he goes, it's the Matrix in the mirror. And I'm like, oh shit, oh God. Okay, whoever's here, please turn that off. I can't say it. And I closed my eyes. And then it went back to the Jedi.
Mhm.
And I opened my eyes and I'm like, is this for real? And he goes, yes, this is real. And I'm here for you. Fast forward. The last day I saw my daughter was the day before. Well, I'll tell you, she got murdered. But the day before she got murdered, she came into my room and she was talking to me in a very weird way. And I'm looking at her, and her eyes literally changed colors from dark brown to very light brown. And I'm just looking at her and looking at her. And I'm realizing, and I said to her, you know what, this is the time we need to cut our cords, because she lived with me more years than not. And maybe she didn't live with me maybe 3 years out of her entire life. But anyway, so I said, okay, I'm going to cut the cord, and I really feel like you got it, honey. You're on your own. You've learned everything, because we were so close. And she said, okay. Anyway, I won't tell you what she said after that, because it has to do with her murder. And so she walked out, she'd come back and she goes, but Mom, you're going to be with me tomorrow, right? You're going to come with me. I'm like, yes, okay, here we go. I'm trying to cut the cord, but I will be with you. Anytime you cry, you jump, you say jump, I say, okay, how high do you want me to jump? She walks away. And then the next day, and now that night, 4 o'clock in the morning is when I got the police coming in telling me what had happened to her. And I was like, oh, wait a second. And I go back and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. I even asked my son, get me some weed. I need to go back to sleep. And the angels would say to me, no, you can't. It'll never work. It won't work. You have to sit on this. So are there angels? Absolutely. I tell people the only reason I can move and I can function is because of those angels. And I do see orbs. Sometimes I'm talking to somebody at FaceTime and they go, oh my God, you got orbs behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They
They show up in
never-
all different kinds of forms, and that's
Yeah.
one of the easiest ways to start seeing them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Through my camera, just turn on the video. And there they are. I'm like, whoa. And I look on the other side. It's not dust, is it? No.
It's beautiful.
And they come in different colors too,
That's how they started coming for
and
me.
sizes.
That's how they started coming for me. So Archangel Michael appeared first, and he came in like this blue, bright blue energy, and he told me, I'm Michael. And protection, courage, strength, and then Shamuel came, and Shamuel was love, and then Raphael came, and Raphael was healing. That's exactly, it was just like I was taking
He
a
was
class.
wearing a blue outfit.
He would.
And a Jedi.
Michael would. Michael Jedi.
I was like, what?
Jedi blue. And they are kind of Jedis. I mean, that fits pretty well. So thank you for sharing.
It's just the only way I could. Yeah, they come the way they know you can
Yes,
understand.
the way that you can understand them to be. Beautiful, thank you.
I was just gonna say, this has been amazing, and I know that everyone online is really interested in this as well. But what we normally do is break up and actually just form a circle with everybody and talk about our kids and the signs that they're sending us. And we'd love to have you stay with us if you'd like to. And if not, that's okay as well.
Absolutely.
But what I have to do is to say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you,
Maybe
everyone.
can just say goodbye.
Thank you very much.
And then
Appreciate
stop the
it.
recording. And bye, everyone. I'm sorry to be leaving you. I wish you were here in person with us, except I can't see anything because I don't have my glasses on. That meditation left me a little bit discombobulated. There we go. So, and Sandra, I wish you were here in person with us because you're usually in person with us anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this.